Hey guys, today I'm going to give you my 8 most compliment getter fragrances of 2023. Keep in mind that I'm not always guaranteed the compliments, just like you, whether you're a guy or girl. To each its own. You buy a fragrance if you love it, you enjoy it. If people like it off of your skin or in the air, that's always a plus, but nothing's guaranteed in life. These are fragrances that might get you compliments in the future. These fragrances smell amazing. These 8 fragrances are fire. But at the end of the day, get samples, try them out on your skin and see if you like them. I'll leave links down below if there's websites where you can buy samples before blind buying these fragrances here. What are your favorite fragrances that get you compliments, designers, or niche? Drop your list down below. I just want to add one more thing if that's okay. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you're clean grooming, clean shave, haircut, whether you have hair or not, shave it off, whatever you got to do. Make sure you take care of your fingernails. Make sure you have a nice outfit on. Make sure you look your best. Make sure you're happy in life. If you look down and about like you just lost your best friend or you don't have any money, then yeah, you're not going to get compliments because people think you're sad and depressed. So keep your head up, look somewhat decent, and smile every now and then. And people might say, hey, you smell good. What are you wearing today? But just don't buy a fragrance because you think he got compliments or she got compliments. Doesn't mean you're going to get compliments. And I think that's something people need to understand in this whole compliment getter story or fantasy about fragrances. Number 8 fragrance is from the house of Le Labo. This is Bergamot 22. So I talk about this fragrance out on the channel and it does the work. So I was hanging out with my friend Mike. Probably said the story a dozen times now. I wore it this year. We haven't hung out in a while since COVID happened a couple years ago because he has kids, don't want to get nobody sick. And I hung out with him. We watched the Eagles game. We talked a little bit about life and stuff like that. And Bergamot 22 is fire. So I did like maybe 6 sprays before I left my house, right? So it's about a good 45 minutes to get over the bridge from Philadelphia to New Jersey. And my friend Mike lives right over the bridge. So did like 6 sprays, sprayed a little bit on my clothes as well. So I hung out with him, my friend Scott, and a couple other friends. And then his wife came in maybe about an hour or so later. And she's like, wow, Chris, whatever you have on, it smells amazing. I wish my house would smell like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's Bergamot 22. It's like a fresh citrus fragrance. And she's like, yeah, it smells really, really good. She's like, I would wear that. And even my friend Mike's like, I would wear it. And Mike's not a big fragrance guy, but he does like smell good. He's not going out of his way to buy these expensive fragrances. But when I told him you can buy the big size or the small bottles, he's really considered buying a bottle for him and his wife to share. So Bergamot 22 is a great citrus fragrance, right? It's fresh, it's clean. It's one of the best fresh fragrances in the game that money can buy. Price point is very expensive. Keep in mind, I feel like you're getting your money's worth buying a fragrance like this because you can actually refill your bottle. My bottle's almost empty. So when you get it refilled, they take the cap off, they spray the bottle inside, they clean it, then they add the juice back in there. They tighten it up and they put a new label on if your label's kind of crumbled, which is nice. It's a nice added detail to touch. It's like a laboratory type of fragrance. Like they take it in the lab, they clean it, and you can put your name here on the bottom or a special date, whatever you're into. But this is amazing fresh fragrance. Think of citrus, bergamot. You get those notes that you want a fresh fragrance to last for a good amount of hours. I get about 6 hours with this, and fresh fragrances don't last long. So you're getting 6 hours with a fragrance. It's not too bad. You can always reapply it. I spray my clothes so it lasts a little bit longer. And women and men both like this fragrance. Is it anything groundbreaking? I will say no, but it's one of the best citrus fresh fragrances that you can get in game, including Xerjoff Neo. So check out Bergamot 22 by Le Labo. Number 7 fragrance is from the house of Armani Code Parfum. So this fragrance here is funny. I think I told this story before, but I'll say it again. So I was at work, and one of the guys at work, his name's Maurice, and he always wears Armani Code type of fragrance. I smelled it off him before, so I had this one on. So I wore it to work one day. He's like, hey, Chris, man, you smell good. You smell like a sweet fragrance. He's like, what do you have on? I said, I have the new Armani Code Parfum. And he has Absolute. He has the original. He's like, I never smelled the Parfum. So I made him a little sample like 2 days later, and he bought himself a bottle. This is fire. It's bergamot, bergamot leaf. There's Orris/Iris. There's some tonka in the dry down. If you like the Armani Code DNA, you're going to like this. It's very sweet, but there's a sweetness about it, and there's a lot of fresh and airiness about it where you can wear this all year round as its perfect signature scent. Now, say you like Prada L'Homme. If you like Prada L'Homme, you're going to like this. It's very in the same category, but not the same fragrance. It does have that fresh airiness where you can wear this dressed up or dressed down and just go about your day and running errands, and you're going to smell fresh. Slightly powdery with the iris, but not over lipstick, nothing like that. Not like Dior Homme or Dior Intense. So you're good to go. This is just easy to wear. Grab it, 4 or 5 sprays. You're going to smell fresh and clean. I like the magnetic cap. And this one is awesome. My bottle's about halfway. I think about halfway empty, right about here. Wore a lot of this one here. A lot of my friends like this one. This is the easy fragrance that's going to guide you comment. Is it fresh, slightly powdery? Yes. Now, would some guys not like this because of that powderiness in it? Sure. But majority of guys like the Armani Code DNA, and it's crowd pleasing. You can wear it to the club, date night, movies, whatever you're into. The performance is great. I'm usually getting, I think I got like 8 hours on my skin. I had no complaints, maybe pushing 10. It just lasts and there's really no issues. Like I said, you can do 3 sprays, 5 sprays, whatever you want to apply. It does the job. It projects very nicely, not sticky coin. And this is one that's very mass appealing. So definitely check out Armani Code Parfum. Number 6 fragrance is from the house of Terre d'Hermès. This is Eau Chivray. I talked about this a couple days ago. This fragrance is fire. So I got a cotton wearing this one at work, right? I was helping a girl on my side. We were actually loading up a truck, sending out clothing and other products. And the girl's name is Christina. She's an older woman. She was really nice and kind. You know, she always has a nice day, always smiling, always happy, enjoying life, which is nice. You don't see that too often with people in the world now. So I was helping her stack up orders in the trailer, and she's like, "Wow, you smell really good, Chris." And she's like, "What are you wearing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm wearing Terre d'Hermès Eau Chivray." So she's like, "Can I see a picture of it? Do you have a picture? I want to get it for my boyfriend." I said, "Okay, sure." So I took a picture of it, showed it to her. Well, sent it to her phone, and she said she's going to try to get him a bottle or spray it on his skin. I told her to see if it smells good on his skin, because sometimes skin chemistry, it doesn't smell that good, which she didn't know. She said, "That's cool." But she said, "I smell very clean and very fresh with this." And you get that vibe because there's this citron, which is a nice bit of citrus in it. Overload of citrus, in my opinion. Very lemony, very fresh. It does give off that cleanness about yourself wearing something like this. There's a nice icy feel. I like the back because it's kind of frozen. And you get that vibe. You definitely get some thyme, a little bit of spices in it. You're definitely getting some juniper as well. This is a great fragrance that you can wear anywhere. Date night, casual, to work. You're only going to get about a good 3 to 4 hours. But I spray my clothes as well, just like this. And this is not going to offend anybody at work. Some fragrances you can't overspray like that. I think I did like 8 sprays with this. It smells fresh and clean. You know you're not going to offend anybody at work. It's a no-brainer. A dumb reach, in my opinion. If you like very great citrus fresh fragrances, you're definitely going to like Terre d'Hermès Eau Chivray. This is one of the best like fresh fragrances that are on a decent budget. You can get this probably for around under about $100 on discounters. And projection's good for like the first, I would say 45 minutes to an hour. A nice hour, hour and a half moderate projection, depending on your skin chemistry, stuff like that. Definitely check out Terre d'Hermès. This is Eau Chivray. Number 5 fragrance for now is the Tom Ford. It's a flanker. This is Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum. So this fragrance, I love the gold on gold bottle with the black up top for Tom Ford. This is amazing, right? So it's cardamom, there's ginger, there's mandarin neroli, there's rose, there's coffee. It's like a coffee note, kind of give it a gourmand touch. There's some vanilla, there's some sway, amber, gaiac wood, tonka bean, and cedar. This is great. If you like the original Tom Ford Noir, you're gonna like this one here. I feel like this one is more of my style. The original one, it was nice, but it didn't last on my skin. I tried it several times at Sephora because they had bottles available, and I got a tester, like a decan. It just didn't work. It smelled nice, but it was gone within probably 4 or 5 hours, and it was a new batch they had there. So I don't know, maybe it got reformulated. Don't really know. Probably don't really care, honestly. This is fire in the bottle. So I wore this one to work, and a coworker, I think his name was Justin, if I'm correct, something with a J. Anyway, I worked with him for maybe 3 months, and then he ended up quitting. But during that time, he wore fragrances too to work. So eventually, I think I wore this to work one day. I was just trying it out for review, and he's like, "Hey, Chris, you smell really good." So I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "What are you wearing? If you don't mind telling me." I said, "Sure, no big deal. Tom Ford Noir Extreme." So he has the original at home, and he loves the original. He's like, "Well, I didn't know they made a flanker." So I said, "Yo, I'll make you a sample. Don't worry about it." He said, "You sure? Can I give you some money for it?" I said, "No, don't worry about it. I'm a fragrance reviewer." Eventually, he found out I was a fragrance reviewer because we were talking about notes and breakdown and crap like that. So he instantly wore the sample for a couple of days, so I stopped wearing it to work. And he bought himself a bottle a week later. He said it's awesome. He still loves the original Tom Ford Noir Extreme, but he said this one here is a nice upgrade to the original. He said this one here projects better. He said he can smell it, and it lasts longer on his skin. He said I smelled good that day. He's like, you smell really sweet today. He's like, not in a weird way, but you smell really sweet today, like a dessert vibe. And I said, yeah, it does have this coffee note. And he's like, yeah, I definitely like this one a lot. He loves the gold bottle as well. As a matter of fact, he bought the big 100 ml bottle because he said he didn't want to run out, which to each his own. You know, if you like the fragrance, 100 ml bottles definitely more bang for your buck. But if you have a lot of fragrances like me, I probably have over 250 fragrances. I know, that's a lot. Let that sink in. 250 fragrances, right? Bonkers. But nevertheless, this is a great fragrance if you like those sweet, gourmand, edible type of fragrances. This is amazing for date night, casual, just hanging out with your girl on the couch, relaxing, watching Netflix and chill. This is a fire fragrance. Does have a big amount of projection, so be careful with the sprays. 2, maybe 3, that's it. This can hit heavy, guys. If you like gourmand sweet fragrances with sweet chocolate, coffee, vanilla, definitely check out Tom Ford Noir Extreme. This is the Parfum version. Number 4 fragrance is from the house of Louis Vuitton. This is Celeru. This one here is fire, guys. I like this one a lot. Might be getting discontinued, which rumored I've been hearing. I don't know for sure, but when I find out it's going to get discontinued, if I have time to make a video, I'll tell you guys so you can go out and buy yourself a bottle. But if you like the juice, just buy it now because it might get discontinued. You won't have a chance to go to your boutique and buy a bottle. And discontinue means that they're not going to make it anymore. They're done with it. They might make a newer fragrance or they might make a better version of it. But if you like this, just go buy it now if you really like the fragrance. Don't think about it. This here, I love the magnetic cap. These bottles are refillable at a discounted price. Definitely go to Louis Vuitton, ask them, check it out. Whether you get a 100 ml bottle like this, a 3.4 ounce, or you can get a 200 ml bottle. So this one here has notes of citrus, bergamot, lemon, pink pepper. There's some grassy type feel. There's some nutmeg. There's like a slightly leather to it. This is a very fresh green fragrance. This is something you would smell when you wake up in the morning. This is something after you cut your lawn. You get that fresh green vibe with some added citruses, a little bit of spices with the pink pepper. This one here is awesome, guys. This is a great fragrance. I like the beautiful bottle presentation. I'll show you guys. And this one here does have some nice bit of cardamom and some cedar as well. This one is fire, guys. To me, it kind of has similarity. Not the same fragrance, but the same type of vibe as like Aventus cologne. Not the same fragrance, but you get that freshness, that greenness, the nice airiness. This is awesome. This fragrance is fire, guys. So the compliment I got with this one was very weird. So I was on my way to hanging with Jerome, right? Shout out to my friend Jerome. We were going to shoot some fragrance videos, you know, because you want to be on the channel. And I always love him on the channel because people love his perspective on fragrances. And we both had off the weekend. So, a matter of fact, it was a Saturday. So I get up Saturday. I said, I'll grab a cup of coffee and 2 donuts, you know, before we go make some videos because it takes a couple hours. So I did about 8 sprays. I was going like this, right? I didn't care. It's a fresh and clean fragrance. So I went to my local Dunkin' Donuts and it's connected to a gas station. So I go inside and the guy in front of me is like, man, you smell good. What are you wearing? I'm like, oh, I'm wearing Celeru by Louis Vuitton. He's like, that must be expensive. So I showed him a picture. I'm like, yeah, but you know, you can always go there and talk to him. You might be able to grab a little sample. He said, cool. Thanks for letting me know that. So then once he left, the woman at the counter, you know, she's taking my order and she's catching wafts of the fragrance. I could tell her like smelling it off me. Like she could smell me. She's getting close to me when I'm trying to place my order. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I give her the money. I give her my debit card and I ask for medium coffee, extra cream, extra sugar, and a glazed donut. And I asked for a sprinkle donut. So she's like, sure, no problem, hon. So she's making my coffee. She comes back. She's like, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to bother you today, but you smell really good. The scent that you're wearing, what is that called? So I literally pulled out my phone again and said Louis Vuitton Celeru. She's like, damn, you smell so good. So then I guess her coworker heard it in the back. She came out and was like, wow, you do smell good, huh? What is that? So I showed her a picture of this again. It gets the job done. I'm not saying you're going to buy Louis Vuitton fragrance, you get massive compliments. These are good compliment getter fragrances. And I wasn't looking for compliments. Like I said, I oversprayed. I did like 8 sprays. And it's a fresh fragrance. I went to go grab a cup of coffee and some donuts. So it does the job. I wasn't looking for any compliments. I'm happy I got them. And it's cool to make a video like this because this happening in my life. This is not going to happen to everybody, right? Grabbing a cup of coffee, get compliments. But it worked out. I got 3 compliments. It was pretty cool. If you like those fresh, green, grassy type of fragrance, slight little bit of leather, definitely check out Celeru. Performance is pretty good. You're going to get maybe 5 to 6 hours. Isn't too bad. It's in that range. Projection good for the first hour, maybe hour and a half pushing it. Definitely check out Celeru by Louis Vuitton. Number 3 fragrance for now is Louis Vuitton. I got so many Louis Vuittons, right? I'm not rich. Relax. Trust me, I'm not. This is City of Stars by the house of Louis Vuitton. This one here is fire, guys. So there's lemon, there's lime, there's blood orange, there's bergamot, there's mandarin, a lot of citruses. There's a flowery touch to the fragrance. There's some powderiness to it as well. Some ambergris and musk. This one here is straight fire, guys. If you like tropical based fragrances, something like I would say Virgin Island Water by Creed, you're gonna like this a lot. Definitely has a nice coconut nutty feel to it, nice and creamy as well. Definitely great for the summertime / springtime. So I wore this to work one day, and a guy at work was like, "Man, Chris, you smell very tropical today." He's like, "What are you wearing?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm wearing Louis Vuitton." He's like, "That must be expensive." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I get samples somewhere and buy them?" I'm like, "Well, you can go to Louis Vuitton." He's like, "Could I give you some money and you make me like a small sample?" I said, "Sure, no problem." So he gave me like, I don't know, 20 bucks. And I gave him like, I think I gave him like a 3 ml sample or something I had. He loved it. He's like, "I get myself a bottle or try to find a dupe online." So I did recommend him a few dupes online as well. Not sure if they performed or not, but he loved this one at the end of the day. And he kept wearing that little 3 ml sample until it ran out. It's definitely an amazing fragrance if you like tropical, beachy types of scent. If you're not into that, you're not going to like this fragrance here. The powderiness might throw you off, where it might be better for a woman than a man. But if you're a confident man yourself, like me, my friend Steven from Redolescence, my other friend Jerome, you're going to love City of Stars. It's definitely a great fragrance that you're going to get noticed. The first hour, maybe hour and a half of nice moderate projection, and longevity looking at between 4 to maybe 6 or so hours. You can always spray your clothes, additional performance, but it's nice. It's great. Even Kelly likes this a lot, and she worn it a few times as well. So definitely check out City of Stars. This is Finalista Louis Vuitton. Number 2 fragrance, Finalista Rose de Parfum. This is Elysium Eau Intense. This one here is a flanker to the original Rose de Parfum cologne. I have both of them. This one here, you definitely see a different color in the cap. It's actually silver. It's kind of plastic, not as heavy glass as the other one. Definitely nice touch. And you see the bottle is like blue with this slightly clear graded right here, which is nice. This one here has rhubarb, grapefruit, there's lavender, there's bergamot, there's lemon, there's lime, there's black currant. This one here is awesome. If you like the original Elysium, you're going to like this. But this one here, I feel more of a fresher type, more of a linen cloth, fresh and clean type of fragrance, where to me, in my first impression for review, I get a fabric softener vibe. Like I just clean my clothes, or I put that nice little circle tube of detergent in the little washer. You get that fresh, clean vibe. Put one of them little pieces of fabrics inside to make sure your clothes are clean in the dryer. You get that vibe with this here, and it's definitely a fresh fragrance. Very easy, very blue type of fragrance. In the same realm, like a Bleu de Chanel, Dior Sauvage type of vibe. Not the same, but it's a blue fragrance, right? See the bottle here. Definitely more in the fresh, cleaner side. Maybe a Kleenex type of feel, and it's fine. I like the way it smells. It's going to garner you compliments. So I wore this one to work one day. I did like 6 sprays. I'm like this. I'm like, whatever. You know, it's a fresh fragrance. I don't think it's going to project that very well. I didn't realize it was not projecting that well. I went to work, and a colleague of my job, Josh, was like, "Yo, man, I smell your fragrance. Like, I don't know when you came to work today, but I smelled it in the hallway." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that fragrance is strong. It's fire, man. I like it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "You can smell it?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, it's strong as crap on you." I'm like, I didn't know it was even projecting that loudly, because from my nose, I only smelled a little faint of it. But this thing projects like a beast. Apparently, I guess I go nose blind to it. This one here is fire. If you like those fresh and blue fragrances, leaning on the detergent type of side, definitely check out Rose de Parfum Elysium. Longevity, I'm getting about a good 6 hours or so. Projection for me is about a good hour to maybe hour and a half. Then I kind of go nose blind to it. People can smell it around me. So this is definitely a heavy fragrance, so be careful with the sprays. Definitely check out Rose de Parfum Elysium. A very easy, casual fragrance. Spray and go, date night, casual, work. Doesn't matter, running errands. This will work perfect for you. Definitely check it out. A number one fragrance that got me a lot of comments this year, and I'm very shocked. But then again, I'm not, because a lot of people praise this fragrance. Funhouse Louis Vuitton. Again, okay, I'm not rich, but I bought a few Louis. This is Meteor. This is fire. So at first, I didn't like it. I said in my full review, Steven gave me a sample, right? Then I got 2 samples when I went and bought Celle Rue by Louis Vuitton. My sales was like, "You got to buy this fragrance. It's fire." I'm like, "Look, it's okay. It's a blue fragrance. Can you stop bugging me?" She's like, "Look, I'm going to give you 2 samples. If you don't like it, I won't bother you again." So I wore Steven's sample. I started liking it. Then I wore the sample that my sales associate gave me. I wore it to work one day, and that was from the sample. My friend Juan was like, Chris, whatever you get on, bro, that thing's amazing, and I want a bottle of that because I know my girl would like that on me. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, maybe we got something here. Hold on. It's like, all right, whatever. So I wore it some more, and I enjoyed it. Fresh and clean fragrance. It has mandarin orange, bergamot, orange notes, pink pepper, nutmeg, neroli, vetiver. And I like the beautiful bottle with the blue tint as well. And there's some cardamom as well in this. So I'm like, all right, this is good. I like it's fresh and clean. Definitely a Blue Day Chanel Dior Sauvage vibe. Then I purchased a bottle. I said, you know what? I like it enough. I want to buy a bottle. And I started wearing it more, and I fell in love with the fragrance. I love it. Now, I do say that if I only could wear one fragrance at 6%, probably would be this here. This here is just fresh and clean, easy to wear. Definitely get a shower gel-ish vibe, but it's fire. Now, once I got the bottle, I went out 3 times. I went out with Kelly, the Buffalo Wild Wings, to watch the Dallas Cowboys game. They were playing, I think they were playing the Chargers. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem, watch the game. So I did about 6 sprays, went out with her to watch the game, Buffalo Wild Wings. Our waitress tonight, she was really nice. She came up to us, she's like, oh, somebody smells good in here. What are you guys wearing? So Kelly wasn't wearing nothing. I'm like, oh, I'm wearing Media by Louis Vuitton. She's like, that smells amazing on you, sir. She's like, I just want to let you know before we place the order, I really like that one. I want to get that for my boyfriend. I said, cool. So I wrote the name down, and I showed her a picture of the bottle. I said, you can buy it in the local mall where we live at. Okay, cool. No big deal. 1 compliment. All right, cool. Second compliment, right? I'm wearing the fragrance, and we're going to go get pictures taken for a photographer for our wedding coming up. So, engagement photos, right? So I did about 8 sprays, going to be outside. So I'm going to be outside taking pictures. And the photographer at the end of the day was like, wow, man, so I'm sorry to tell you this, but your fragrance smells amazing. I'm like, oh, you can still smell it? He's like, yeah, he's really strong. He's like, what's the name of it? I said, Louis Vuitton. He's like, yeah, I can tell that's a rich fragrance right there. The name of that sounds rich with Louis Vuitton. I'm like, no, it's not the bags, it's just the fragrance, right? Still expensive. He's like, yeah. He said, you do smell good, man. So I'm like, all right, cool. So that's 2 times of compliments, right? So then I wear a 3rd time, right? And we're going out to dinner again. And the guy was like, wow, man, you smell good, sir. What are you wearing? So I wrote down at Meteor again. I'm like, you know what? This is a compliment getter fragrance. We went out to dinner 2 times, and I got some pictures taken by my photographer. This is fire in a bottle. It's a fresh fragrance. It's blue. Some people might say it's typical shower gel, but it gets the job done. It's mass appealing. It's fresh. It's clean. And I had this conversation with a subscriber. I won't say his name. We talk about it all the time. These blue fresh fragrances get the job done. Some people like wearing Oud Satin Mood. Some people like wearing Maison Margiela Coffee Break. Some people like wearing other type of fragrances like Oud Wood that are great fragrances. They're masterpiece. But to get compliments, you're probably going to look more into the fresh and clean type of fragrances. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be different and wear those type of fragrances, that's fine. But if you want to stay in the crowd and get compliments, you're going to have to wear the blue fresh type of fragrances. This is an amazing fragrance. Performance is nice. I'm getting about, I would say maybe between 6, maybe pushing 8 hours, depending on your skin chemistry. This does last a good amount on your skin. You might go nose blind to it. And projection good for the first hour to maybe hour and a half. This fragrance smells amazing. I love this one a lot. This is one I didn't think I would even like it. It was like, first I didn't love it. I had worn it a few times, and I just actually fell in love with it. Not from the compliment perspective, I could care less, but just from a fresh and clean perspective. When I run out of this, I'm definitely going to get it refilled. And if I had the money at the time, I would buy a 200 ml bottle and wear a lot of it because it's easy to wear. And I haven't found one person that didn't like it. I find people that want to buy a bottle. Now I'm afraid to wear it because everybody's going to start wearing it. Definitely check out Louis Vuitton. This is Meteor. Thank you guys for watching. What are your favorite, most compliment getter fragrances of 2023? Whether it's designer, niche, or clones, drop your list down below. If you enjoyed this video, please show your support. It's absolutely free by clicking that red subscribe button down below. Be safe, everyone. I'll catch a new video very soon. Peace.